Alright, I am back with a special two-part episode of DreamWorks Dragons Race to the Edge, episodes 10 and 11. Hey guys, it's Stradling with the Rotoscopers, and I am back yet again for one of my favorite things to talk about, DreamWorks Dragons Race to the Edge. So let's dive into these episodes. So we start off at sea and we have our fellow residents of Berk, and their ship is attacked by a dragon rider and a very shiny dragon. Back at Berk, Stoic and Gilbert, they accuse the dragon riders of being the ones behind this, and the dragon riders are like, we've been preparing all day to get ready to go back to Dragon's Edge. We've all been here, it wasn't us. So then, if it wasn't them, who was it? So they decide to take it upon themselves to go investigate the cause. They fly back to the boat and they find a spine from the dragon, and they realize, wow, this looks a lot like Stormfly's spines. So they determine that it is from a Sharp class dragon, and what they do is they go back and they use the dragon's eye, which I love the dragon's eye. I love how versatile it is. I love how basically all of our answers can be found within that, but they use Stormfly's fire to kind of illuminate the dragon's eye, and it shows them all the different Sharp classes of dragons, and if you just move the different lenses around, you get introduced to a new dragon. So they finally find the dragon in question, and it is called a Razor Whip. And this incredible encyclopedia of a lens tells you everything from mating rituals to what it likes to eat. And so they determine, okay, it likes to eat sea slugs. Let's go to an area that is totally infested with sea slugs and see if we can find one. Well, this works out quite well for them because they leave and they split up to find this dragon and dragon rider. And one by one, they are attacked by this dragon rider. Except for Hiccup is able to unmask this mysterious dragon rider, who turns out to be our long-lost friend, Heather. Heather has changed quite a bit from when we first saw her in a previous season. She's not very forthcoming with information about her, why she attacked a random ship, and so, you know, whatever, she was our friend, so they take her back to Dragon's Edge and say, you know, just hang out here with us, it's cool. In the night, she locks up all the dragons and flies away, but Hiccup and Toothless are much smarter than that, and they hide in the shadows and they follow her. Now, she actually flies to a boat with our favorite friend, Johan. She does some talking with him, and when she flies away, Hiccup and Toothless, they come out from the cliff that they were hiding, and they approach Johan for answers. At first, he's tight-lipped, he doesn't want to say anything, but very quickly, they get him to open up, and it turns out that her family and her village were attacked by some marauders, some people, and they died. This has been a horrible traumatic experience for her, and so that is why she is looting ships. She is taking the loot and redistributing it to other people, very Robin Hood-esque. They continue to talk to Johan, and they realize that she is not just going after everybody, it's one particular person, and they realize that is Dagger. She has a vendetta against Dagger, and she will stop at nothing to get revenge. So back to Heather, she and her dragon Windshear, they tried to attack Dagger himself, but they didn't realize that he had an entire fleet of ships at his disposal which were able to attack her, and basically she gets caught up in chains. Her dragon is flying to try and stay afloat, but she's basically lost it. You know, there is no way she's going to be able to come out of this, but thankfully Hiccup, as usual, saves the day. He's able to destroy the wenches, which were supposed to be dragon-proof, but he outsmarts them, and together they're able to fly away with Heather. He tells her, you know, drop this thing with Dagger, revenge is not gonna bring you peace or happiness, let's just forget it and move on. So she kind of reluctantly agrees and she leaves. As they're flying back, Heather tells a story about her childhood. She has sort of these just brief glimpses of her real family. It turns out that she was adopted, and the parents that died were her adopted parents, but she still has this intense desire to find her real family if they're still out there. This is an interesting tidbit which we will use later. It's a big one, so stay tuned. Back on the island, all the riders are trying to be friends with Heather and make her feel loved and welcome, but she's getting kind of overwhelmed because the majority of them are guys, or they act like guys in the case of Roughnet. And so Astrid takes her away for a little girl's afternoon, which involves throwing axes at targets and, of course, boy talk. While Heather and Astrid are away, they actually stop by the campsite of Heather and they talk to Johan. Johan gives them a little bit more information about Dagger, saying that he's buying more ships, specifically dragon-proof ships, which are more like the Reaper. Remember that ship from a few episodes back? And Heather does not want this to happen. While this whole conversation is going down, Hiccup is actually snooping around in her bag and finds this mysterious thing, this relic. This is one of the last remaining things she has from her birth parents, and he takes it and he notices that it has Stoic's seal on it, which is very concerning because he could be her sister? So he goes back to Bert to discover what it is, and Stoic tells him that it is a tradition when a baby Viking is born that the leaders of all the tribes round about, they give gifts. And this was a gift that he gave to a very particular person. Back with Heather, she has convinced all the dragon riders to rally with her to go and attack Dagger. They really don't want to do it, but yeah, they're with Hiccup not around, I guess they've kind of lost their morals and their sense of right and wrong and when to say no, and they go with her anyway. But they convince her, they say, okay, well, we can't kill Dagger, let's just send him back to Outcast Island so he can go back to jail. We're okay with that. So with that, they fly away without Hiccup to stop them. So this is when stuff gets really crazy and intense and the big revelations happen. So, you know, they find Dagger and his men and they start attacking him. Dagger is trying to stop the dragon riders, but Heather and Astrid, they stop him. And so they're supposedly going to capture him and send him back to Outcast Island, but Heather has a change of heart and she actually gets on Windshear and she's getting ready to attack to kill him. But suddenly Hiccup swoops in and he gives this big revelation about this horn. He tells her, hey, this was actually a gift that my dad gave to someone called Oswald the Agreeable, which, let that sink in a bit. No? Oswald the Agreeable is the father of Dagger, which makes Dagger her sister. Ooh, you might not want to keep killing him. This information throws Heather for a loop. She freezes up. It really complicates things because Dagger killed her adopted family and basically everyone that she knew, and she was just barely going to kill him herself, but now, you're related, I don't want to kill my family. In the end, she decides to fly away. She needs some time to process everything, and Hiccup and Astrid say, hey, we just want you to know that we are your friends. You can come back to Dragon's Edge at any time. Like, please come back, we're your friends, we'll be here for you. And with that, the episode is basically over. Holy cow, it was a lot. So I don't know about you, but I absolutely loved this episode. I thought it was very layered. It had a lot going on. We got to see new characters, new in a sense, if you haven't watched previous season. We got to see old characters. We got to see some of our favorite characters if you're a Dagger lover. He stole the show yet again. He's just such a great villain. I just have to say, I loved Heather. I thought she was such a deep character. She was interesting. She was multifaceted. Her motivations weren't just, you know, very top level surface. She had a lot of different things going on inside her. I liked that we got to see her personality change a little bit. She'd actually kind of hardened up. I'm really interested to see more of her. I'm not sure if we will. It seems like we only see her in these little two-part episodes where she's the star, but she is the star. Whenever she's here, I'm like, can't you just join the Dragon Gang? I would love to see her somehow make a reappearance in How to Train Your Dragon 3 because she's just so good. I feel like they have such a gold mine of a character on their hands. Also, all you Hickstrid fans, we got to see a little romance. I love the moment in the forest where Astrid and Heather were talking and she was saying, oh, you're together, right? And Astrid was like, no, we're just friends, no. And, you know, she definitely likes him, and I hope that we get to see a little bit more of those interactions between them, which we did at the end, where Hiccup, they put their hands over each other's shoulders, and it was kind of just a very close moment between them. So I'd love to see more of that as we progress, because as we know in How to Train Your Dragon 2, they are an item, they are a couple, so I can't wait to see how that develops. I know, typical, a girl likes the romance story. What can you do? Alright guys, that's all I have for you. This was an amazing episode. It felt like a season finale, but it wasn't. We still have 2 more episodes. There's still a lot that we need to explore in this world, so I'm glad that it's not over yet. I'm glad that this is only 13 episodes out of an ultimate 52. Very, very awesome. So I guess let me know in the comments below what your favorite scene was, favorite quote. Did you like Heather? Would you like to see Heather come back? All that jazz, yada yada yada. You know the drill. Until next time, I'm Morgan, and this is the Rotoscopers YouTube.